In the earliest 20th century, thousands of young Filipino men left island homes behind, chasing the promise of the American dream. Among them was a quiet, soft-spoken man from Ilocos, a man whose courage would ignite one of the most important labor movements of the U.S. history. His name was Philip Veracruz. This extraordinary young man was born on December 25th, 1904, in the rural town of Saong, San Juan, on the northern island of Luzon. Life in the Philippines offered little opportunity, and like many of the Manogs, the first wave of Filipino immigrant workers, he dreamed of having something more in life, a place to his name, a nice warm meal at home, something that every single human being should have. In 1926, with nothing but determination and the shirt on his back, he boarded a ship bound for the United States of America. But as he arrived on the coast, America was not what he expected. Filipinos, barred from citizenship, interracial marriage, and many jobs and positions, were pushed into some of the hardest, lowest paid labor in America. Philip worked wherever he could, in factories, hotels, canneries, and eventually in the fields of California's Central Valley, where discrimination was the norm. Wages were abysmally small and dignity was in short supply. By the 1950s, Veracruz was active in the Agricultural Workers Organization Committee, AWOC, a union of mostly Filipino farm workers led by aging Manogs who had spent decades harvesting America's crops. Philip was not flashy, he was not loud, but he was respected. He believed workers deserved more than survival, they deserved fairness and equality. And on September 8th, 1965, everything changed. On that night, Filipino workers, tired of being underpaid and disrespected, voted to strike against the powerful Delano grape growers. Philip Veracruz was there, helping guide the decision. It was a dangerous move. Striking meant losing income, housing, even risking violence done to them. But the Filipinos walked out anyway, for they knew that it is better to bleed for a just cause than to become complacent and suffer the consequences. And their courage ended up sparking a serious movement. 1 week later, Mexican farm workers organized under Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, who also joined the Filipinos' right. Two communities, two histories, one fight. Together, they formed the United Farm Workers Union, and Philip Veracruz became its vice president, one of the highest-ranking Filipinos. For years, Veracruz fought for farm workers' rights, fair wages, safer conditions, medical care, and recognition. He helped create Agbayani Village, a retirement community for elderly Filipino workers who had nowhere to go after decades of labor into the community. He spoke little, but his impact was enormous. Yet history often remembers the louder names, leaving behind the man who helped start it all. In the late 1970s, Philip began to disagree with the direction of the UFW and Cesar Chavez's leadership. When the union supported Philippines dictator Ferdinand Marcos, Philip refused. His principles would not bend. In 1977, he left the union he had helped build up so much. But he never stopped fighting for justice. Until his passing in 1994, Philip spoke at colleges and community centers across America. He told the story of Filipino farm workers, their sacrifices, their courage, the forgotten legacy. He reminded the world that the Delano strike was not the work of one man, but many. Philip Veracruz lived his life with humility, integrity, and unwavering commitment to his ideals and beliefs. A man whose voice, though quiet, echoes across generations of workers, still fighting for dignity and equality.